So Oppo just took another huge W, and across the board, this seems like it's happening every time we talk about Oppo, right? Because they are just continuously producing dubs after dubs after dubs. So now they are joining what Samsung and Apple has been doing for a long time now. Don't get me wrong. They are now supporting their devices up to 4 to 5 years. 4 years of major Android updates and 5 years of security patches. Obviously, right now they haven't been around long enough for us to really, know if that's the truth or they're lying about this, Microsoft. But at this moment in time, if they do follow through with this promise, with this goal, it's an absolute W for Oppo. We already know that Apple does this. They actually support all the way back to the iPhone 8. Samsung is still rolling out updates, major updates, for the Galaxy Z Fold 2, which is currently 3 years old. So it looks like Oppo might be joining that kind of atmosphere. And I'm going to tell you right now, especially with how expensive these cell phones are, I think the Oppo Find N2 is $1,300. But still, with how expensive these cell phones are, you have to give some type of promise to your consumer, to your customer, saying, listen, if you do invest your money, which you are investing your money, by the way, whenever you buy a cell phone, because yes, there are some people like myself who will buy a cell phone, iPhone 14 Pro, and then bam, next year I'll buy another cell phone for another, whatever cell phone comes out, and I'll keep switching back and forth, right? I'm not the average consumer here. The average consumer, I think I read an article said that they say they keep their cell phone for 3 to 4 years. The average person out there, they go ahead and buy a cell phone, and for the next 3 to 4 years, that's their cell phone. And then they usually upgrade eventually. That's why you see a lot of people go from like iPhone 11s all the way up to an iPhone 14, because they don't upgrade their cell phones every single year. And that's why Apple, great on them, because they actually give you updates. I think they recently canceled the iPhone 6 and 6 Pro or 6S, and now the iPhone 8 is the longest you can go back. But still, you can pick up an iPhone 8 right now and get updates on that phone across the board whenever a new update comes out, and that's a W. Now, of course, 5 years of security patches, it's like flashbacks if you're a Surface Duo 1 user, where for the longest time before the Duo 2 came out, all we saw every single week, every single month was, this phone has been updated according to Android Security Bulletin. And they didn't update anything for the Surface Duo 1. They gave us no updates for the first 3 months, fixed a little bit of the phone in December, and then in March time, they gave us like a huge update. And then for the rest of it, until the Surface Duo 2 came out, we didn't get any updates. We just got that bull crap right there. It's nice that Oppo is doing this. Oppo also announced that they are going to go ahead and be releasing Android 13 and rolling it out to the Oppo Find N2, which is an absolute another W for Oppo, because currently I believe a lot of phones are on Android 13, but I believe the Z Fold 4 only got it like a month ago. And I don't know if the Z Fold 2 currently has Android 13 yet. I think the Z Fold 3 does. But, of course, the Surface Duo 1, Surface Duo 2 does not have Android 13. So that's, again, like I said, another thing it's really good is keeping up on the updates, keeping up on whatever firmware is the newest, getting it out to your customers, getting it out to their cell phones, and being able to take advantage of all the new things. And again, like I said, this is just another huge W for Oppo. Overall wise, I think this is another reason why a lot of people want them to go global. They want them to be everywhere, because I would love to buy this phone myself. But the issue is it only is sold currently in China, and with that being the case, you have to buy it for a third-party seller, whether that's on eBay or wherever, and you got to risk the chance of, one, being scammed, two, it ends up being shipped to you, but then in what's it called? Customs, it ends up being stolen or misplaced or whatever the case. You just don't get the device, right? And even if you do get the device, what if you get the device and it's broken because it wasn't correctly shipped? It's a whole entire mess, right? So this is one of those things where it's like, I wish it would be global, because I think there would be enough market behind them. Now, the reason why they're not global is because there's a lot of people, right? And this is when they started talking about their 5G one. And I think someone made a video on this, I believe, where they said, there was 1.5 million people who were excited about this cell phone, which you might say, oh, that's 1.5 million. That's a lot of people excited about the cell phone, right? Not exactly. Because to say there's 1.5 million people excited about a cell phone, that's great and all, but excitement is not wallets. You got to keep that in mind. So, like, for example, if I say 1.5 million people are excited about this cell phone I just created, right? I just made the cell phone. 1.5 million people are excited about it. I might only have 100 people that buy the cell phone. Because a lot of technology, especially when it comes to foldable technology, it does excite a lot of people, right? The tech industry, a lot of it is people just interested in tech, interested in what's going on, what's being created, what's being, moved forward. But a lot of times, either somebody doesn't have the money for the new technology, or in general, they just might just be like, I just don't want it for myself. I mean, my girlfriend literally told me before she wanted a Z Flip 4. And I was like, oh, you want a Z Flip 4? Well, you have an iPhone. Why do you want a Z Flip 4? I thought you like iPhone. She goes, I do. I just want to put it on my shelf and look at it. I was like, do you want to use it? She goes, no, I just want to look at it. And that's what a lot of people's opinions are. That's why they'll follow like a tech enthusiast, Instagram or Twitter, just to see all the new things that get posted, not because they're going to buy them, because they want to look at them. And that's why it's like, if Oppo does try to go international, try to go worldwide, it's going to flop. And this is why they know it's going to flop, because there's a lot of people who are interested in this device, but interested is not paying with your wallet. Interested means, wow, that's cool. That's a cool concept. Wow, there's a bird outside. Let me go look at the bird. That's pretty much that. So that's why, like I said before, we're just not going to see them go international. And it sucks, but it is what it is. It's hard to compete with a tech giant like Samsung in the aspect of, they have enough money to take losses if they go worldwide and things fail, while Oppo is not at that size yet. They're a bigger company, but they're not like a Samsung level. So we're going to wait and see what ends up happening when it comes to Oppo. And if eventually, maybe with another generation of the phone comes out, Oppo and Fine and 3, maybe next year they'll go international, but it has to really be one of those things where you can't risk it for the biscuit in business, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. If you risk it for the biscuit in business and you flop, you're going to have a huge problem, way bigger than anything. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.